Welcome back to a new sprint for Learn More development. From the quality of life update of last week when we've done the color helper tools, we're gonna go back into content. In fact, there's been a problem with one of the things that's already in the game. If you've played this far, that you got to the Pixeltosh in the game, well, you know about the Pinball project. When I was creating this Pinball creation kit, I did not have as much time as I wanted to if I wanted to make the release. So the instructions of how to do the Pinball project are just not as good as I would want them to. Right now, all you get is these tasks like draw the gobble hole. Do you know what a gobble hole is? Before I started doing research for all this pinball stuff, I really did not. And so I would like you to have a little bit of examples. How did gobble holes look like? Especially because this comes from old school pinball machines, pre-war pinball machines. I want to create a little bit like a magazine of sort, Pinball Magazine, that comes up and you are able to see, okay, how do gobble holes look like? And you would be able to cut out the images to use as references, so you can have references like in the other projects. And I've prepared all the tasks for it already here. So let's get this sprint started and I'll see you in a week. These weeks go by so fast, especially now as I'm getting settled into my new digital nomad life. So on the code side, not much to show, but I did create an administration interface for creating publications where I can create the publications. Here's Pinball Magazine issue 1, and I can select what content is going to be in. And here's the cover. I just have a little bit of a WYSIWYG editor. Here's just some dummy text. Here's a little prototype design that I threw up together. So I better get back into coding and we'll see how far we can get in one more week. You know, every once in a while there's a sprint where things just happen around you. I had to do accounting, there were holidays. Life is great, it's great life. But, you know, I want to work on this game. I wish I'd done more, but here is what I did do. Here's a new cover. Remember previous one, I was trying out with this layout. I don't know, I like that it's in color, but I found this great photo from the 1940s, one of these old pre-war machines. I don't know, it just looks cool. Then I've done a little bit of how contents could also look like and put it into the game. So now when you open up your drawing and you're on the playfield, hey, wouldn't it be great if you have this magazine that you can now open up and you can look at the cover, you can click on it to open it up. And yeah, I need to make so that this stuff actually appears. Nothing else to do but keep on coding, keep on drawing, and I'll see you in a little bit again. Oh, this sprint, it's not even a little bit, it's not even Monday, it's Friday. The previous, but progress was done. I've designed the software architecture, we have the source component that shows stuff. You can add and remove references, I'll show that in a second. I found a bunch of cool photos that I can put in, and here's the magazine. Now design is done. I added a bunch of fonts, so now this looks even cooler. Here's the magazine now in the game. The content all works, but look at this, it's a cool feature. Whenever you get to an image, you can first of all look it up full screen, and also you can cut. You can use anywhere on these lines and it will add the image to references. So if we go back up, now the references tray appear, and there it is. So this is a feature that I really want, so that you can find examples and then be able to use them as references. If you want, you can even paste them back in with the glue. Yeah, so it does look like I'll need one more week if I want to get this high priority stuff out, and I really need to, because I really want this pinball project to work, and there's all these other things that I want to improve. But first of all, we're gonna just put in a bunch of images so people know how gobble holes look like, bumpers, gates, all of this coming up. So can't wait to get all of these features out and ready for you. Welcome back. It is just not the week that I thought it would be. I think this sprint has just, yeah, it's life happens. And so, but the Pinball Magazine, the good news is Pinball Magazine is done. The bad news, it's not just the next week after the last little check-in here, but let's take a look finally how this update looks like and what you'll be able to play right now. If you've already played the whole Pinball creation kit, just imagine that you haven't, and you are for the first time experiencing this wonderful thing of not being able to hit the ball up. And after you've drawn the ball and plunged it up, now you get to draw the playfield. But what is different this time around? Well, if you are a little bit intimidated, as a lot of people are when they see this empty playfield, oh no, what should I put in here? Well, don't worry, now there is Pinball Magazine down here. You unlocked a new article, it tells you, hey, something's here. What is this? Look at this, Pinball Magazine, celebrating the art and legacy of pinball issue 1. That's gonna teach you everything about the different parts and the history of pinball. In fact, we're gonna focus on the pre-war machines. These are the very early machines and how they look like. And right now we just unlocked this article. There's multiple articles you can unlock slowly as you play, because you know me, I love to make you unlock things slowly, get more and more content. And this one is just unlock the history of pre-war pinball machines. And you can get to read how did early pinball machines look like. So there's a bunch of text. Actually, there's very little text. It's mostly just images. Why? Well, because I wanted you to be able to take some of these images as references. So yeah, there's a bunch of images. Basically, this whole thing is just an excuse for you to see how these pinball machines look like, and for you to be able to get references. I also want to do a big shout out to Jeff Frick of History of Pinball, who let me use a bunch of images that they have on their website, History of Pinball. Look at all this cool stuff they collect, these pre-war machines. Pinball before there were any flippers, essentially, if you want to think of it that way. They added flippers in 1947, but before that it was basically just, yeah, you plunge the ball up, falls down and try to score it into different holes. So I'm gonna take this as the reference, snip it out, and yeah, let's put this here. It's a little bit of something like that. It's not perfect. Let's add a little bit of three-dimensionality to this pink. I guess we can do it like this, and then the rest we're gonna dither it. At one point there's going to be an in-game editor that will have all of these black and white dithering patterns, but right now you just gotta do it by hand like this. There we go. There's our little gobble hole, inspired by this one, as we have seen in Pinball Magazine. Let's drag some on our little playfield here. What I really wish, I want to remember how the Bally game used to look like. At one point I want there to be like a references app, so you can actually access all of the references at any point. Right now we have to go back. See, we're just gonna create this kind of a diamond pattern. What we can also do is this bottom part. 1, 2 maybe? Here we are. We got them gobble holes. There we go. Next time we need to add pins and draw the drain. Now we just do this, 1, 2, something like that. Let's draw this things to indicate that it's a hole. And then we can put the drain here. Oh, and then it also has this circular stuff. We can make this big circle. Pom, 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 pom. Something like this. I don't know, how big is the opening there? It's not that big. And then this goes down. Oh, actually, we did it quite nicely. I guess it could be just like this. Hey, can you hit that part? Are you good enough? I am not good enough. Yes, we did it. You know, once we add bumpers and stuff, it's gonna become more interesting. And yes, also for bumpers, here we have an article, the electrifying bumper. Look at this wonderful thing of marvel of engineering. And you can see, because all of this stuff is patented, you can actually see how these things work. And again, the article will give you, it's just an excuse for you to see a lot of different references. Let's do this one. We're gonna add a little chrome. So let's, here again, we've been able to cut it out. First of all, we need to make it in a circle. Pom, 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 pom. So we're just gonna do this chrome part. Yeah, a little bit of a shine up here. I'd say something like this. It's good enough. Okay, let's see what happens. Play. Oh, we did it. Nice, good job, me. Oh no, out. I really wanna, oh, you see there? We got into the hole, back into the shooting lane, and that's what the gates are trying to prevent. So this is a good opportunity to go to the next part. And also we have the final article. What are these gates things? Let's take a look. We just unlocked this article. So we get that indicator. The pinball gate, one way only. So we can see it's this little device. It's a little flap that will prevent the ball to go back in. You can see different designs, and this one right here. I like this one. So the gate is a little bit finicky, however, because it requires at least a 3x3 area for it to detect, to register as a gate. Yeah, it's not perfect. It has a little flap like this. Has a little bit of a shine, but I don't think this will, maybe. We'll see how this feels. Add a gate to the shooter lane. Now we can place our little gate, and then you have to rotate it. This will prevent the ball from coming back in. Oh no! Straight over. There we go, the little gate to stop the ball. There we go, into the gobble hole. So there you have it. At this point is I will in the future create more missions. There will be one more article in the Pinball Magazine issue 1. It's already hinted here. I really want there to be a do-it-yourself article that leads you actually through the process of designing your own pinball machine. For example, the way I created this moonshot demo machine, you know, I would start with a sketch of the whole thing, of how it would look like, and I decided on a theme. Oh, should it be space themed? And then designed a couple of shots. I want to guide you through this process of deciding on a theme, planning things out a little bit. So it's sort of like a check through of things that when you're working on something like this, you would go through. So there will be one more article in issue 1, and then there will be more articles for issue 2 where you get the flippers and stuff. But before we get to that, I do want to create one more feature, and that would be so for you to be able to have multiple projects. Right now the game just asks you, hey, remove gobble holes and start working on the new machine, but that would mean that whatever I've created so far, this my pinball machine here, I will lose it. And what I want to be able to have is to be able to do save as, store this pinball machine as its own name, and then continue working by creating the next one. So what I want to do is I want to add support for multiple projects here, so you can switch between different projects and you get a whole new set of things, both for Snake and for pinball. We need to do that first before we go on to issue 2 and the whole do-it-yourself aspect. But that is it for this sprint. I hope you will enjoy Pinball Magazine issue 1. If you've already gone through the pinball project, you can just go in and open up any of your assets and you will have all of this unlocked already. If it's your first time playing, you will unlock them progressively, and then I will see you in the next sprint, which is gonna be in the next year. So enjoy the holidays. Have a happy 2025 when you get there. Bye.